Alright, is this thing on? Alright. Welcome. I'm gonna do a quick guide on how to overclock your 5500 XT AMD GPU. I have the 8GB XFX 5500 XT Thick Pro 2, and yeah, so I don't use anything but the AMD Radeon software for overclocking. So from your home desktop, you want to hit Alt R, and there you go. So you can see Alt R will bring up this menu right here, and from this menu here, you're wanting to come over here. This will be default. It'll come like this. You want to come over here to manual, and you'll see all these boxes are unchecked. So you got your GPU tuning, got your VRAM tuning, power, and fan. So you want to go through first and click all these on, and then everywhere it says advanced, you're going to want to hit that as well. So now you have your full control, and you can do whatever you want from here. Usually where I start is I just take my power tuning and set it all the way up to 20%. All cards will become more stable with that alone. Some cards I do believe have higher power limits than 20, but this one it's 20%. And so then the next thing I usually do is come over here to the VRAM, and I will usually go to 1830. For me, most people are going to be able to get it here, but if you want to do it incrementally, start here at 1800 and work yourself all the way up to 1860. But usually I sit at about 1830 stably. I'm also running dual monitors, so it makes it a bit easier. Sorry about having kids. And then the next place that I usually come to next is the frequency, and I will go ahead and I will always put in 210 to 2000, and here for the voltage I'll always go 1151. It caps out at 1150, but the 1150, hold on. Sorry about that. And I'll put it to the 1150. And then after that, I'll have all of that set up. And then I'll come over here, and I usually don't worry about any of these. I worry about this last one. I put it just over this top line and get it right in about there. And I'll tweak that one just a little bit to give it a curve. And other than that, take a look at everything, make sure everything's good before you hit apply settings. You hit apply settings, and then after that, if you want to save it, you come down here to the drop menu, go save profile, and then you just type in whatever. And for this one, I'll put in YouTube test 1, and that will be the name for it. You could do that for individual games, or for individual needs, period. If you got a program that you want to do some software encoding or some video editing and you need a little extra oomph, you can set up a profile for that. You can set up a profile for any of these. I just don't understand. There's a lot of people who sit here and say, oh, with AMD cards, you need to undervolt, you need to undervolt. I find that if I tried to take this any lower than 1130, at least on my card, it doesn't work. Your results may differ, but I just don't understand where you would want to increase your power limit and decrease and undervolt your card. It just doesn't make sense. You're giving it the ability to run more power, but yet you're cutting the amount of power the core receives. So that just doesn't make any sense to me. With NVIDIA, you want to increase everything, and I get where sometimes with other architectures like Polaris, the one before this one, or in the other ones, yeah, they could benefit from just undervolting the card, and you'd get stable performance. But that was other software, that was other cards, other GPUs, other manufacturing processes, and it's not the same. You have to think what works for this generation, and for this generation, for me, what I have found, that just letting it have as much power as it wants and increase the fan speed does enough that I don't have to sit there and tweak around with undervolting. You may think I'm a little weird or my methods are different, but for me it works. And then with each incremental increase that you do, you want to test it. Run it for half an hour in a burn test in games. It's better to do it in games because you might have one game that crashes everything, but it was stable in every other platform or every other game or any other application you used it in. So you always just want to test it in every place until you got it solid, and then once you know it's solid, then start using it for your normal overclocking for the card that you just run every day. You can do that. Just make sure that you're messing around with your fans and not letting them kill themselves by, if you're just watching YouTube videos, then kill the fans. You don't need them running. You don't have to change your settings. You don't have to set the card back to default. Just kill the fans. Just let them do their their fan stop thing that AMD and all GPU cards are doing now. The older cards like the 9 series, it was full bore all the time. Every day, fans were spinning. And so I just find that that's just what you kind of have to do for this GPU. You want to make sure you apply it and save it. If it works, test it. You might be able to get more frequency out of your VRAM. You might get a little bit more out of your core. But don't expect it to sit there and hit 2 gigahertz. It's not going to. It's got a hard limit in the BIOS to only go to a certain point because they didn't want the 55, 56, and 5700 XT lines to be blurred by overclocking, so they set those hard limits in the BIOS. You can go through Igor's lab and get their software that you can create a custom BIOS that eliminates those restraints, but I don't really want to mess around with it. I've fixed GPUs by flashing BIOSes back to them, and it just doesn't always work. I have a card that is dead. This guy, RX 570, dead. It's completely fried. The miner who got this fried it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little burnt spot right here. Yep, right there, where somebody fried this card. Can't bring it back. It's dead. It's absolutely dead. You can't do crap to bring it back. That's why you gotta watch it. With BIOS flashings, you can screw everything up. It's not child's play. You can brick it and never get it back. But this overclocking, don't be afraid of it. Go head first. Just tweak it. Do what you want with it. Just be safe. Understand the card has limits. And just be mindful of those limits. Be safe out there. And just stay safe. Don't kill your system. Don't do anything stupid. Alright. You guys have a wonderful day. Have an amazing day, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.